I always get responses like, "Oh yeah, but if everybody leaves, then who's going to stay behind to fight for the country?" And my remark is the same when I talk about Venezuela. Okay, I thought at some point I can fight inside of Venezuela and try to raise my voice for Venezuela, but I realized that the enemy was so big that I'm gonna get disappear. I would say that I was gonna get myself killed. That is a best case scenario in Venezuela, if you get yourself killed. Because the worst case scenario is to get disappear. And by disappeared, I mean disappear. You are disappeared and your family doesn't ever know about you ever again. They will not know if you died. They will not know if you are alive or where or in which conditions. I think that is the worst possible case scenario for in all cases. But of course, Germany is not Venezuela. It's two different cases. And I can understand that you can say, "Oh, I'm going to stay in my country." Somebody has to fight for my country. But my question is always going to be, how are you exactly fighting? How are you fighting? Staying behind. How is the fight? Are you protesting in the streets? Are you trying to do something to register people to vote? Which in itself, people are so tired of the same old politics everywhere, that's why Keir Starmer won in the UK, because people were so fed up with politics, and that's why Keir Starmer's ministry, he being prime minister, that is not actually, it's legal, but it's not legitimated because he was elected by a minority. That doesn't make sense. It is legal, but it's not legitimate. It's a bit, I don't know if I'm using the exact legal word, but that is F up. Again, sometimes you need to realize, and this is going to hurt some of you as well. Sometimes we lie to ourselves saying, "Oh, I'm going to stay in this situation because I'm going to fight for this." And that could be a country, and that could be a relationship as well. And it's because you don't want to leave the relationship. And we could be talking about a toxic relationship. Maybe you say, "I'm going to stay in this toxic relationship because I will fight for my relationship, my marriage," or so. But maybe it's an actual toxic relationship, and you have to leave. And leaving and getting out of there is the right thing to do. Maybe, just maybe, is the right thing to do to give yourself some space to grow, to find more peaceful lands. And if you have the possibility, if you have the opportunity, absolutely, that is something that you have to do. Okay, I'm going to use the analogy of a toxic relationship that, of course, you were not born into that relationship. You were born into your country, and maybe you want to fight for your country. Sometimes you have to realize that the fight is not worth it. And I'm not saying that it's not worth it for the country itself. It is absolutely worth it for your country. But you see left and right, and you see that people are not willing to do it. They're just willing to accept their fate. So you're staying behind to fight for your country, but you see everyone around you like accepting their fate, accepting that their country is being invaded, accepting that, criticizing you for wanting to fund a startup or something, or make reality an idea that you have, and you realize that every step that you want to make forwards and onwards, something better for you, have a better life for you, it's so hard that you say, what are you doing? What are you doing? Again, so many of my audience is from the United States, and it also, again, this applies to so many instances. But sometimes it has happened to me as well. We lie to ourselves. We have this tremendous ability. We have like the mind is a great tool, and we can use it to improve our situation, to thrive, right? But we can also use it to stay in the same place. If we can, I'm just to try to lie to myself so I can stay. I don't have to do anything. I'm just to stay here fighting for it. No, it's like changing your situation requires courage, requires action, requires consequences, and requires being responsible of your actions. It's easier to just stay in the toxic circumstances because you essentially are doing things a bit, you're being more, what is the word for that? Passive about the situation. Getting out of the situation requires that you be active, and being active requires action on your part, energy, decision, courage, responsibility. That isn't comfortable. That isn't comfortable for everybody, but sometimes has to be done. Again, I like to speak in vague terms sometimes because maybe the German example does not apply to you. Maybe the counter example does not apply to you. It would be great. Sometimes in a personal level can apply to you. Maybe in a professional level can apply to you. Maybe you are at a job that you absolutely despise and you think that you have no other option. Again, this still your responsibility if you are going to stay in a toxic relationship, if you're going to stay at a toxic workplace, if you're going to stay at a toxic country. I'm sad to say that could be a thing. Not to mention that you can be in a toxic family. Don't get me started with that one. But this is the kind of thing that we need to talk about. We need to reflect about these topics, and we need to understand that you come first, and you and your family come first. So what are you going to do about it? That is the question. Again, these are not easy topics to cover. These are not easy topics to talk about, but are necessary topics. Very necessary topics. Let me see. We had another a couple topics in here. Okay, I'm going to try to make things a bit more lighter, right? Lighter. Okay, this is interesting. Full Irish breakfast. Bargaining with yourself is a clue that you're in denial and not prioritizing yourself. Yeah, I like it. Thank you, Skis Spivak. Just became a member. Remember that you can become a member of my channel. Right next to the subscribe button on YouTube, you see a join button that you can become a member. And all members of any level, there are 5 levels. All members of any level have access to all my exclusive members-only live streams. I sometimes do them once or twice a week. Again, I have to, these days I have to take care of my voice, so I had to kick back on the amount of streaming hours that I have. If it's for me, I could do 4 or 5 hours. Some days I've been like 4 hours because I've been 2 hours of a show and then close to 2 hours with the members only live stream. But I had to take things easy. I had to take things easy. But let's try to switch to a lighter topic. switch to a lighter topic. No, I'm not going to talk about Meghan today. I'm not going to talk about Meghan today. But we need to talk about a lighter topic, something that is happening